There we are. Live as hell.
Yeah, I'd like to lodge a complaint. You know, the Dodgers aren't on TV enough.
Mm-hmm.
Neither are the Yankees. Have you noticed that? They're never on.
Who are these Yankees you speak of? All right.
All right.
All right.
It's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. Let's check it out. Check it out. Yeah. You know. Stop it. Uncle Joe, the computer's moving kind of slow today here at the junction.
Yeah, I feel you.
Come on. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're there. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let us do it. Welcome along to another Brad and Britt show adventure. Thank you for joining us. The live 1:30 Eastern hour. It's ours. We own it. We're it. Don't bother with anything else. Put everything else aside. Take an hour off from work. Just relax. Crank it up. Whatever. Oh God! Remember, crank it up and turn off or rip off the knob.
Remember that one? Knob. Oh, those good times. Different time in America, my friends.
Yeah, because now the radio doesn't even have a knob.
What knob are you? What is this knob you speak of?
Right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think you need to register trademark things too stupid to talk about because it just dominates.
It's blowing up everywhere.
It just dominates. Can I start with something that's too stupid to talk about?
Please
do. And this just happened to me an hour ago, and I posted it on my Facebook page so people could see it. But I'll describe it for folks that can't see that or aren't predisposed to do it. I ordered from Amazon a patented Brad cheapo $25 electric razor. So they last about 3 or 4 years, right? And then I toss them. They just that's fine. I'm good with that. So I finally got to the point where I was ready to buy one. I bought one today, $25, and so you buy it on Amazon. The next thing you know, frequently reordered items related to your recent views, related not to only what I just bought, but to other things. What do you think the first two things that come up here, besides other shavers, right? Replacement little heads for these shavers, ivermectin paste.
Oh, yeah.
And duramectin, which must be a derivative kind of thing, equine wormer paste, and $61. So it's like the gouging idiots who have some of this. But how did that come up?
I don't know.
Because I don't recall us looking for this on Amazon. I didn't. I know.
But you're now playing with the idea that it hears you, and then it just starts injecting stuff into your feed and stuff like that.
I don't have an Alexa. We don't, Britt. We have.
I know you
Google
don't. I know you don't. It doesn't matter. Your phone's listening to you. Your computer's listening to you. Your iPad's listening to you. Everything is listening to you. That is the theory here.
But I talk about other things, and
I understand, and I don't know exactly how it works, but there it is.
I'm not telling you to defend it at all. I'm just trying to get an explanation on when something is clearly terrible and really shouldn't be sold at all at this moment. Now that's it's just too stupid to talk about.
Yeah,
that's my opening bid. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I don't want you to buy that stuff, but if you're buying your ivermectin through Amazon, make sure you do it through our store, which is shop.bradandbritt.com.
Nice. Well done. And way to get the plug in for us.
That's how you do it. If you're going to be shitting yourself and calling it poison control later, please make sure that we get a piece of that action.
Do they have a subscription service, or you get a new tube of it every 6 weeks without having to reorder?
By the way, the strawberry jam that you're going to be mixing with to put it on your toast, you can also order that through shop.bradandbritt.com. And I mean, it's one seamless ball.
Right. And then you can order the casket you'll be resting in.
All of it through the shop.bradandbritt.com.
We're here for you. We care.
The abortion wars are back. Maybe you can order your clothes hangers, your wire hangers through Amazon. The Supreme Court said we're not gonna intervene. Texas clinics. Basically, you're not going to be able to get an abortion in Texas unless your name is Sue. You do it on a consecutive Wednesday, and you hop on one foot between 3 and 5 o'clock on the west coast of Texas. They basically outlawed abortion in Texas. President Biden very quickly saying that he would take whatever measures he could to make sure that Roe v. Wade continued to be the law of the land. But again, the abortion wars are back, and the culture wars are back, and this is how the Republicans are going to win the hearts and minds of America, Brad, and put themselves back in power very, very soon, sooner rather than later.
Good. By the way, good luck to them on that. All the public opinion is not for this kind of heavy-handed crap, and but they're talking to themselves on this. They don't realize that even if remember that original court ruling, and I don't want to go 10 minutes on abortion.
No, we can't.
But the original court ruling is now almost 50 years old. Okay, so think about the makeup of the country, the demographic makeup of the country, even that short 50 years ago almost, compared to what it is now. And just based on that, if you think you're going to ride this anti-abortion train to some kind of electoral majority that it matters, you're probably wrong. But then my final word is you can never discount the stupidity of the American people in their willingness to be lied to about 25 things that we haven't even thought of on this subject that will be brought up out of thin air and lied about and then talked about by the right wingers and Fox News and ad nauseum. So to be fair, there was no Fox News in 1973 to lie about this subject, but now there is. So you know what? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? But look, you get a 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court. You're going to start to get these kinds of rulings. You're just going to start to get them. And even if Stephen Breyer retires yesterday and gets replaced, it's still going to be 6-3, which is not as bad as 7-2, but it's 6-3. That's all I have to say about this.
Well, I suppose Assface will be making be taking credit for this, and I suppose that you have your phone and you are now getting the national alerts that a school in our backyard has now made national news. There has been a shooting at a high school in Winston-Salem. We don't know much about it. We won't say much about it here, but it is now national news and being blown out by places like CNN, Fox News, and various places. We don't know anything about injuries. And of course, breaking news on a podcast is always kind of a bad thing. But again, it can't happen here. Has happened here again.
Right.
You also highlighted this story as being too stupid to talk about on your Facebook page. A Florida restaurant owner telling Biden supporters to take your business elsewhere. He posted a note basically telling them to fuck off and they could go away. That's essentially what has happened.
No, I was quoting somebody who commented on the story. I thought that was pretty good right up at the top. The name of the restaurant is the DeBary Diner, Debary, and she puts a sign on the front of her diner that says, let's see.
If you voted for and continue to support and stand behind the worthless, inept, and corrupt administration currently inhabiting the White House that is complicit in the death of our servicemen and women in Afghanistan, please take your business elsewhere. That is according to the sign. Ugarte, the person who owns this particular place, said that she posted the sign the same day that 13 U.S. service members were killed in an attack in Afghanistan.
Right. Now let's examine how we're talking about this and why we're talking about it. Because, again, it's too stupid to talk about, and it doesn't deserve, more than 90 or 120 seconds here. The only reason we're talking about it is because I happen to see it on some dopey news feed that linked to this story about it on the Hill, and the Hill story links to the original story about it. That's right, on Fox 35 in Tampa. Okay. Yeah. So this is what Fox does nationally. They do it all over the country with their little affiliates. They go find the biggest right-wing fuckface and turn them into a local martyr hero standing up to Biden. So that's really, to me, that's the important part of this story. And you have to be on the lookout for this because clearly there are people like this, and they are stupid enough to cut their own throats business-wise and not welcome whatever percentage of the people who would not want to go there. And then, but look how many people are going to come here because I got a sign up saying that no. Okay, so that's all I got to say about that one. It's too stupid to talk about. I do hope she goes out of business. Fuck her. Okay, thank you. That's it. I'm done.
I'm looking at the I always like to troll every now and again to the foxnews.com page. Pentagon leaders address Afghan debacle and the loss of 13 service members. This is a fun story. Terrorists are supposedly upset that the U.S. disabled some military helicopters, Brad, according to Fox News. The terrorists are upset that we destroyed some of our own equipment before we left Afghanistan. We should have left that stuff intact and let the Taliban run around and do whatever they wanted to do.
Well, I obviously that's too stupid to talk about. Okay,
that's too stupid to talk about.
It's too stupid to talk about. Because what are we going to do? Oh, now we're going to send over people to repair the shit that we disabled because we didn't want them. I mean, it's too stupid to talk about.
We're gonna fly some people in to go.
It's too stupid.
We need to have we need to fly some folks in to help out on that whole situation.
You can't even acknowledge. You should not even acknowledge the sentiment that they're mad that we didn't leave them a full arsenal of weapons. And what about all those airplanes that can't fly and those helicopters that don't work? That is not fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough. I'm done. I'm out. Checking out on that one too. Nothing more to say. And I'm sure that the Fox fucking News rundown of that story would just make me more annoyed.
Probably so. The team that we talked about yesterday as being anti-woke, the team that gave Tim Tebow a chance in the National Football League before they cut him, now being excoriated and highlighted by Fox News after Urban Meyer, the rookie head coach, if you will, of the Jacksonville Jaguars, said, yeah, some of the cuts that we made on our roster were the lack of vaccine was a big factor in that. And now some people are crying foul, and the National Football League Player Association, the league itself, now investigating and saying that is not right. And the Jacksonville Jaguars went from being the anti-woke poster children to now being villainized by the Fox News crowd because they dared to say that folks who don't have the vaccine may have less of a chance of making their team than folks who do have the vaccine, Brad.
I'm looking at the Bleacher Report version of this story. Right. What are you at?
I was at Fox News. That was Fox News.
There you go. So let's just see if they've gotten it right or they've twisted it for home team consumption. Urban Meyer said yesterday that vaccination status was considered when determining who the Jaguars were going to keep. Anybody got a problem with that? I don't.
So. I don't.
Do you?
I do. No.
I don't either. Said everyone was considered. Vaccination was part of the production. Let's start talking about this. And also, is he vaccinated or not? Can I say that was a decision maker? It certainly was in consideration. Hey, that anybody no problem with that? No. Let's see. 93% of players and 99% of team staff members have been vaccinated in the National Football League. So you know what? If 7% of the players and 1% of the staff of teams have to go, tough shit. Well, I don't care. I don't care. I'm, look, coach and management, they have responsibility to their employees and their players to have as safe an environment as they can put together. And right now, you know what that means? Having people get vaccinated. Okay. That's the beginning and the end of it. You got nothing. Nothing. And I don't give a shit what the union says. Fuck the union on this. They got nothing. Nothing.
To me, it's a half-ass cursory quote unquote investigation that they have to look into. And then eventually they're coming back and
there's nothing to investigate. There's nothing to investigate.
Exactly. But they have to act like they're doing their they're doing a job. Whether you're making $3.5 million a year, $9 million or $12 million a year, quarterback in an NFL team, or you're making $15 an hour at a warehouse in Moline, you have to be ready to work. And the guy who's running the warehouse needs to have people who are ready to work. And if you're not vaccinated, you ain't ready to work. You can get my other guy sick, and you can become sick, and you're a liability. So I'm sorry, it's fairly cut and dry as far as I'm concerned. That's the issue. Period. Zip. End of story. I don't know. There's a lot of family and health concerns, and it's individual. You put the helmet on, your chances of getting a brain injury and being a vegetable by the time you're 50, pretty high. That's a pretty high health risk that you're taking. Am I right about that, or am I wrong about that?
Again, if you're a pro football player and you refuse to get vaccinated for whatever cockamamie, half-assed, illiterate, moronic, stupid, inexcusable, indefensible reason, then you should go home and be with your family and just make them sick. But you shouldn't make the rest of the team sick or make them think that they have to stay away from you or whatever the situation would be like. There's nothing there. There's no there for not getting vaccinated in a team sport situation. And it's not just the NFL. I think it's like the Philadelphia Phillies. Mm-hmm. That's like half the team is still not vaccinated. What is that?
I don't know.
What is that?
I couldn't tell you.
You know,
I don't know what that is. You've seen the vaccination rates from a month or two ago in the NFL. They were lagging. I think they're over 90%. Isn't that what the NFL is touting? Over 90%?
Yeah. I just read that a second ago. They're way up high now. They're 99% of the staff, 93% of players. That's pretty good. And you know what? That's almost good enough for them to be able to brag about it. But you know what? 93% is not high enough. It should be 100%. They should have the ability to go out there and say, every player in the NFL is vaccinated. You should get vaccinated too, America. Football fans, you should all be vaccinated like we are. But you know what? They can't say that yet because they're only 93%. 93%, not enough.
I certainly wish America looked like that. You're going to have to help me talk me through this because I did have a moment of pause when I found out that apparently Ann Coulter is praising Joe Biden over withdrawing from Afghanistan. This bothers me greatly. If you're on the right side of and on the same side as Ann Coulter, shouldn't you re-examine, look at your life, and reflect just a little bit?
Let me make you feel better about that.
Please,
okay?
Please help me. Walk me
through
it.
You're also on the same side as Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Who is also on the same side as Ann Coulter on this. Because remember, and Michael Moore, who, by the way, it should be noted, has really lost significant weight. Looks good.
He certainly has.
Michael Moore, who has for 20 years said, dumb war, stupid war, bad war, shouldn't be war. Now that Rush Limbaugh is dead, if Michael Moore wanted to borrow the name of one of those early books, and you know which one I'm talking about, See, I Told You So, he could now borrow that title and write the book. But he's not going to. He doesn't need to. The evidence is there. Michael Moore was right. Michael Moore, remember, he got the Academy Award for Fahrenheit 9/11, the highest grossing film documentary in the history of film documentaries. And he got the Academy Award and got up there and got booed and yanked off the stage early during the war. This was 2002, right? 2002, 2003. And they yanked him off the stage. That was back in the days when they would turn up the music when you were saying something controversial, which really it wasn't controversial.
Really.
But he was right. Michael Moore was right. So if Michael Moore and Ann Coulter, as idiotic and crazy as we think she is, but she's not stupid, if they both agree on something like this, and it's not easy right now. It is not easy to say that Joe Biden made the tough decision. He made the hard decision, and he made this decision that we have not seen a president make the previous 4 years in the last president's term, which is a decision that was not based on how will this help me personally, make me money, or help me get reelected, or appeal to my base, or appeal to the people who watch the TV channels that like me the most. We had that for 4 years. Did you like that? No, we didn't. We did not like that at all. So now we have a president who made this decision, which does not benefit him, certainly in the short run, which is the way we measure things, which is how's it going to look tonight at 8 o'clock on Chris Hayes? How's Lawrence O'Donnell going to play? How are they going to play it? He wasn't playing to those people. He wasn't playing to Don Lemon at 10 on CNN. Now, it so happens that they do think, just like Michael Moore and Ann Coulter on this, and they do think it was a courageous decision. And I think it was. And it was a tough decision. And it cost, 12 American lives.
Yeah.
But this was not a 20-day war.
No.
This was a 20-year war. And if we can't get past this idea that the only thing that matters is what people saw on TV the last 10 days, that's all the sum total of Afghanistan from 2001 to 2021. That's all that matters. And Britt, you know this, on that channel with those people, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're playing right now. I put up a cartoon today that I saw from right-wing fuckface cartoonist Michael Ramirez of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. And yeah, he was the one. He went there. He did it. He put Joe Biden with a mission accomplished banner over his head, because that was just as stupid and obnoxious as what George W. Bush did. No, it wasn't. You did not see Joe Biden strutting around and bragging about the great victory that the United States had. We lost. Now, are they going to try to massage the overall 20 years and not make it seem as if Americans died in vain for a cause that seems pretty empty? Of course they are. That's what they're going to do. But I'm sorry, the dumbest moment of the last 20 years during this war was George Bush standing there with mission accomplished. It was not Joe Biden yesterday speaking to the country.
I would correct you in saying that the mission accomplished was about the Iraq War, and I think part of the story is that we diverted resources away from Afghanistan and started fighting a useless war in Iraq. Now, I'm not saying we would have been.
Right. In other words, it was actually even worse. It was even worse.
I'm not saying we would have been successful in Afghanistan had we not fought the Iraq War, but to divert all of those resources and fight a useless war, you can always justify the fact that Afghanistan was fought because they were able to engender and coddle and be a nice petri dish for a lot of terrorism that ended up in an attack on American soil. We're about to mark the 20th anniversary of that, among other things. But there was no reason to fight the war in Iraq. It is very clear that there was not an imminent threat from Saddam Hussein in any way to the United States. He did not have nuclear weapons, as was heavily inferred and implied by the Bush administration. And this is not part of any discussion that I'm seeing, at least on cable television these days, as far as the diversion of resources from Afghanistan to Iraq.
I don't understand your timeline at all here, because your premise is that if we would have just thrown more military power into Afghanistan, for a couple of years, and not gotten diverted with Iraq, things would have worked out a lot better. I wouldn't want to make that argument. If I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Certainly,
I'm not justifying either one, but I'm
one is certainly more justifiable than the other, and one was used as a Trojan horse to move into the other, and I think that needs to be part of this discussion.
I understand that, but the fact is that following the major effort in Iraq, we've had about 10 years. We've had about 10 years of cleared straight on Afghanistan shit, and it was never going to work. Well, it was flawed from the beginning. It was flawed when Iraq was a diversion. It was flawed during that time. It's been flawed since then. And the game was kick the can down the road. Don't admit you're wrong. And talk about how great the military is, and can we up the budget, please?
Yeah,
can we up the budget, please?
Well, there's no question. A lot of people made a lot of money off of the endless 20-year war in Afghanistan. There's no question that a lot of defense contractors and a lot of folks were getting their palms greased pretty good by that entire situation.
War is good business. Yeah.
And here's the asshole Donald Trump Jr. who took the Coke spoon out of his nose long enough to put up this particular logo. Now, what you're seeing there, for those of you that are watching, I'll try to describe it for the folks that are going to be listening on demand, is a Biden logo very similar to the one he used for his election. And the bottom of the E is a stylized helicopter with someone hanging from it. Now, there is a story that is going around that has been completely debunked, that the Taliban hanged someone from a Black Hawk helicopter who was a traitor to the Taliban. The story has been completely and totally debunked. It was bullshit, and anyone who went with it. But a Coke Spoon Jr. over there has decided it would be hilarious, and this is a way to tar and feather Biden. I believe one of his social media posts, old Coke Spoon, was saying that he would like some mean tweets and some competence right about now. This is how he typifies or quantifies his father's administration, was some mean tweets and competence.
Right. Well, there couldn't be anything less surprising than that angle, because you can imagine, you can presuppose anything, that if someone else were there doing something not identical to what you're seeing, it would be so much better. Gosh, I wish we had that, but again, now Donald Trump Jr. actually has a Lifetime Achievement Award in the category of things that he does that are too stupid to talk about.
Donald Trump himself, Donald Trump is in the Madison Cawthorn kind of category, as he is too stupid to talk about.
Yeah. You know what? I last night, you started to hear about the desperation, the desperation of the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy. Okay. And it's kind of obvious that this guy, who had conversations with Trump, certainly on January 6th, that's already not even a question that he had a screaming match at Trump, telling him to fucking do something about this.
Yes.
And now he's pretending not only that didn't happen, but we've seen a million times the famous picture that he went down to have taken with Trump just a few weeks later. And you have subpoenas and document requests and phone record requests, which phone record requests in this era means not just, a list of who called who, but I assume that means your text messages, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Right. Sure. Right. Okay. So the Democratic-led investigation into what happened on January 6th, they put out their list of, it's the usual suspects. And McCarthy not on that list right now, but it's everybody else that you know and love, from Marjorie Taylor Greene to
Jim
Matt
Jordan,
Gaetz, to Jim Jordan, Mark Meadows. They're all on there, and they want all the records, and they and this is just for legal purposes. They told the telecom companies, which would, I guess, range all the way from the carriers like Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, to the device makers like Apple and Samsung. They must have records of everybody's everything if they're subpoenaed, right? They do this all the time, to not destroy them. Well, they don't destroy stuff, okay, but you have to kind of do that. So here comes Kevin McCarthy saying, don't even think about cooperating with the government, you telecoms, because you know what? We're getting reelected in 2022, and we're not going to forget. We're going to come after you. All right. So that was bad enough that McCarthy, who is a seventh-rate Trump mob boss wannabe type, right, threatening these companies and telling them not to cooperate with the law, with a subpoena,
or else,
with a lawful,
or else
what? Yeah. We're gonna shut you down. We're gonna. Okay, no one's gonna have a mobile phone in this country if you cooperate.
Brad,
with,
do you know how close he is to turning this car around? He will turn this car around like that.
All right. Okay. So aside from the too stupid to talk about idea that, of course, there is no law, there is no legality, there's nothing behind that phony threat except pleasing who, where. He feels good when he hears Kevin McCarthy say those kind of things. Then Marjorie Taylor Greene goes in a rare appearance on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. She got up there, she got on there and essentially said the same thing, that do not cooperate. These companies are out of control. And there's a quick clip of Carlson saying, they need to be shut down. The companies need to be shut down. So
we're going to shut them down.
We're going to shut them down. Shut them down, Britt.
So
if hang on, Britt, this is the way it works. If they cooperate, we're going to shut them down. If you don't cooperate, you get impeached and then not convicted because there wasn't enough evidence against you. So think about that's what happened in the two.
I just want the right? Republican Party, which never wants to interfere with private business, is now apparently going to carpet bomb T-Mobile and Sprint. Is that what's going to happen? And just level their headquarters?
That's right. Or as some wise person said last night. So this is the Republican Party that says, when a cop pulls you over, you cooperate because you have nothing to hide, right? You didn't do anything wrong. Well, this is kind of like a cop pulling you over. And since you have nothing to hide, you ought to be cooperating with them. But if you have something to hide, guess what's going to happen? The cop might shoot you. There might be an incident. You might try to speed away. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And this is not too stupid to talk about because I think it really speaks to what's going on inside whatever you call the Republican Party, which is not a political party that we've been used to talking about in our lifetimes. It's now something else. It has devolved into it's a gang. It's like they're like a street gang,
cult, whatever you like.
Political offices, right?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Well, I still love the Jim Jordan thing. Did you talk to the president on January the 6th? Oh, I talk to him all the time. I mean, we talk about almond milk, or we're going to pick up at the store, what rom-coms we're going to stream this week on Netflix. Oh, we talk all the time.
Right. I have officially laid down the over-under on this.
What's that?
And the over-under number is 18. I believe that when the phone records and the communication records are revealed between Jim Jordan and Donald Trump on January 6th, and can we include January 5th, like the day before also?
Why not?
Can we stretch that at least?
No, it was only at 12:01 January the 6th. Okay. That's the only thing that counts.
Right. I've established the over-under number at 18. 18. What's your bet? You over 18 or under 18?
I wouldn't
18.
Take
right.
I'll never take the under. I won't take the under on that for sure. I would never.
Going to go with the over.
Those guys love each other. I mean, Meanwhile, the Daily Beast with this particular story, House Republicans are privately begging Trump to help them impeach Biden. Apparently, this is the one crazy town train that Donald Trump is not going to jump on. I don't know if he's not figured out a way to monetize or what, but he's apparently not helping them out in the way that they want to help Trump try to get on board and be in favor of impeaching Biden. Can you figure that one out? Can you wrap your head around that in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I haven't read the whole story. I mean, the headline is salacious enough, and I'm suspicious of the whole story based on the headline because it could be two idiots. Okay, it could be two idiots that are House Republicans. That again, they don't matter. They really don't. It doesn't matter. But as part of the larger picture. Of course, it's crazy. It's
twice impeached former president, the story reads, has been prolific in calling for Biden to all caps resign and has repeatedly fundraised off of those demands. For now, however, Trump has been less eager to publicly back an impeachment drive on the Hill or even to acknowledge that his GOP allies in Congress have talked to him about it. Reached for comment late on Tuesday night, Trump spokeswoman Liz Harrington, who is just a delight, said that this is totally false. The ex-president has privately discussed a potential Biden impeachment. Still, the knowledgeable sources said Trump has privately supported some of the efforts to attempt to remove Biden, as he stayed mostly quiet on impeachment specifically. Republican lawmakers have increasingly been moving forward with efforts to remove Biden, or at least signal to conservative voters that it's their intention to take down the president. This is where Mr. McCarthy comes in. Is he going to try to quash these bullshit impeachment murmurs from just a couple of morons, or is he going to put his full weight behind it as well?
This is too stupid to talk about. This is too stupid to talk about because it implies at some level some kind of
legitimacy,
legitimacy and analogous rationales for impeaching and convicting Joe Biden to what Donald Trump did. Remember, he's you want to call him the Babe Ruth of impeachments because Babe Ruth was passed by a illegitimate guy, Barry Bonds, right? And then Hank Aaron legitimately passed him. But
let's use a more current example. But he's the Shohei Ohtani of this. That's what he is.
Very good, very good. That works. That works. But he's got two on his record. He's got two. Three more for the first hand, two impeachments, and they were both for, at least in my judgment, very, very legitimate reasons for violating the constitutional oath that he took, and for the high crime of helping to plot the overthrow of the United States government and to overturn a legitimate election. Again. Too stupid to talk about. Joe Biden has not engaged in even a scintilla of illegal, unconstitutional activities that could be described as high crimes and misdemeanors. So these kinds of stories are bad. They are bad because the people would think that way, that they would be that stupid. But they are that stupid. These Republicans, they are that stupid because all they are is about owning the libs and This will play well at 9 o'clock at night on Fox. That's the most important thing. We know that. And you're not gonna impeach him. You're just not. And just stop it. Just stop it. That's all I got on that. There's just nothing more to say. Do you have do you have the article in front of you, or do you have the names of the people who supposedly are at the basis of Republicans are trying to get Trump? See, because it doesn't mean anything just from the headline. It means nothing.
Well, I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene has talked about it on at least one occasion.
Well, there you go. It's not a story. We just did 6 minutes on not a story.
I'd like to think that people like that are not driving the train in the Republican Party, but that is the Republican Party. I mean, the Lauren Boeberts and the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the Jim Jordans and the insane people, they're the ones that ended up eventually fueling a bunch of idiots who tried to overthrow the Capitol on January the 6th. I would like to dismiss all of that, but that's what happens.
No, I don't discount that for a second. And I don't think at this point they're driving the train, but they have moved out of the caboose and they're starting to inch forward, like on any kind of movie where, they walk on top of the cars of the train. Next thing you know, they're in the front. They're driving. So
the Freedom Caucus reportedly discussing the Freedom Caucus, by the way, being the former Tea Party guys. They can't use that name anymore because the brand of that was dead and died, and now it's just the Freedom Caucus. And apparently, this Andy Biggs fellow from Arizona. Are you familiar with him?
These are all the fucking whack job. Right. By the way, they're all on the list. They're all on the list of, we want to see your phone records. We want to see who you were calling and how you were plotting. And Paul Gosar, that other idiot from Arizona. Yeah, I know.
These crazies are the ones that are doing massive damage. But again, on Fox News, oh my God, the squad is controlling the outrageous part of the Democratic Party. It's not these idiots that are causing insurrection and trying to lead an impeachment effort or trying to do something with impeachment. It's the problem is AOC and the two buddies that she has on speed dial. That's the problem with the radicalized the Democratic Party, right? Or Democrat Party, as they might say it on Fox.
With that in mind, can we segue to something that really means something? I mean, really means something to your life and my life and could be.
Please.
Apparently, the toilet paper shortages are coming back.
Oh, God. Thanks a lot, Biden.
Procter & Gamble makes the most toilet paper in the country. Not surprised. And they are boosting their production. I guess they're able to. I guess it's the one product that you don't need silicon chips to produce toilet paper. So I guess they actually can. They can't make more cars, but they can make more toilet paper. So the shortages in some places are supposedly back, but they don't expect it to be as bad as it was a year ago. But you got to be on the lookout for it. And I'm not telling you to hoard it again. It's because it didn't make sense to hoard it the last time. It never made any sense. And somewhere in America, Britt, there are people, we don't know them, that have these sheds, with 300 of those 24 packs of Charmin. Somewhere they are there. We know it. We're just waiting for them to reveal.
You remember like Facebook and eBay and some other places when people were trying to price gouge and mark up the price of these, they would shut that down. Remember that happened last year?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I guess we're looking forward to that happening again, huh?
How about this story? How about Vax Cod fraud for idiots? Vax Cod fraud for idiots. Yeah.
I did see. Yeah, go ahead and give us this one because this is a really good one. This was an Instagram user actually who started this entire thing. This happened in Hawaii.
Yeah, somebody tried to get. And, Hawaii's been pretty tough on tourists and things, of course. And the card spelled Moderna as Maderna, Maderna, instead of Moderna. And the person who tried to pass it was someone named Chloe Mrozak of suburban Chicago. She didn't have any shots for real. But again, we're sadly circling around and asking these same questions of people. and of ideas like this, because we were thinking this at the beginning when we first were starting to be able to get the shots, which is that, boy, what's going to happen if people fake their COVID shot ID card? That's going to cause a lot of problems. That was back then. So now we're all the way where we are now. And the ease at which you can get a shot is so remarkable compared to what it was back then at the beginning, when, you know, having a Vax card was a kind of a thing. You'd even take a picture of it and put it up and let everybody see it. But the cost, obviously, in legal problems for this person, and the cost of buying one of these is so far beyond what it costs you to just go get the free shot, which is nothing.
And also, you're being incentivized. You're getting like $100 gift card, or you're getting cash straight up to get it.
Yes, it's a win.
It's not even free.
You win when you get the shot. Okay,
Jasmine
hey, here's an idea.
Yeah,
right. It's like you have to tell people, okay, pretend you're just going to get a $100 gift card, and they're just giving them away at Walgreens. They're giving you that, and you're going to get it. They're going to give you a shot. Also, don't worry about that. I think you need to now just emphasize the gift card. Maybe some people will get tricked by that, because we've got a lot of stupidity running around here. This woman could get a year in jail and $5,000 in fines. We have somebody in New Jersey accused of selling 250 fake vaccination cards via Instagram.
It's a felony. I just want to underline that it's a felony to do this. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a slap on the wrist. This is a felony to do this. Right. This is Jasmine Clifford, a person in New York who was working with somebody in upstate, and now that she's been charged in court with a felony, that's a capital F. Just wanted to make sure everybody's aware of what that is and what's happening. Right.
And let's see if we got one thing more here. Since the title below my picture, my little banner is "Beat Your Labor Day Meat."
Yeah,
just before we came on, I got this from the Food Network, because a lot of people on Labor Day weekend, they just go with burgers and hot dogs, right? Not good enough. Not good enough. So here are your top 5. This is a great idea. You do a top 5 list every day on your show, Britt. People love it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
Yeah. So this the Food Network. So these are your top 5. Ready? They go with pork chops, ribeye steaks, lamb chops, skirt steaks, or hanger steaks. I didn't know there was that much of a difference between skirt steaks and hanger steak, but apparently there are.
It's a much cheaper cut of meat. It's a much cheaper cut of meat. You get a lot of flavor out of it. You can marinate it a little bit, and those are good things to have.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Good fat content, and of course, fat is flavor.
Yep. So that's my contribution to mankind. Meat ideas for Labor Day. Meat ideas.
Beat your Labor Day meat.
Beat your Labor Day meat. Yeah.
We'll see you on Thursday.
All right.